headquarters for the Senate primary race. The polls will close in less than an hour. Good evening. I'm Sherry Jackson.
And I'm Jim Denaway. We will be one step closer tonight, learning who will Alabama voters send back to Washington to represent them. We've got live team election coverage on all the front runners here in the big race. We go first to CBS 42 News reporter Jack Royer, who joins us live from the Roy Moore camp down in Montgomery.
Jim, we're live here at the RSA Activity Center in Montgomery, which is just blocks from the Supreme Court building that Roy Moore served as Chief Justice in not too long ago. But tonight they're hoping this room plays host to a victory celebration of some sort, hoping to make a runoff. But many in the Moore camp are hoping that low predicted voter turnout today benefits them because they say their base is strong and their voters will go cast their ballots for Judge Moore no matter what. They've got about an hour left to do that. Judge Moore did it himself earlier today in true Roy Moore fashion. He cast a ballot after riding horseback with his wife Kayla to their Etowah County polling place in Gallant just outside of Gadsden, saying today that he wants to continue what his campaign has been all about and take his Alabama values to the nation's capital.
I hope we have a big turnout today because I know there's a lot of motivation out there to change Washington. And I appreciate the people understanding that it's not the money from Washington that's going to buy this election. It's the people of Alabama that are going to vote in this election.
Now, if the likely scenario happens that Roy Moore makes a runoff with either Luther Strange or Mo Brooks, it would be one of the very few runoffs this candidate has been in his life. He won two decisive victories when he ran for Supreme Court Chief Justice twice, once in the early 2000s, 1999, 2000, the other, of course, in 2011. In that race, many people thought he was almost running as a joke. He won overwhelmingly with 62% of the vote, and tonight his supporters are hoping for high totals as well and a victory of some sort here tonight. We'll have it covered for you all night at the RSA Activity Center in Montgomery. Reporting live, Jack Royer, CBS 42 News, local coverage you can count on.
All right, Jack, thank you. 59 minutes now until the polls close. Low voter turnout, not expected to be good news for the other Republicans in the race.
Senator Luther Strange is fighting to keep the position that he's held for 6 months since being appointed by former Governor Robert Bentley. CBS 42 News reporter Michael Clark is live from Homewood, where Strange lives and where his supporters are tonight. And Michael, what's the senator doing in this final hour?
Well, Sherry, Jim, Senator Strange continues to try to do everything he can to reach those voters. We've seen him active on Twitter, reminding people that the polls close in less than an hour. We've also seen him on several state radio shows, even on a national television program. But we're really told he's focused on working the phone lines in this last hour. Now, we saw Strange cast his ballot this morning. He left his polling place to meet with voters nearby in Moody. Now, he's fighting off challenges, of course, from U.S. Representative Mo Brooks and Roy Moore. Strange ran his campaign, of course, on promises to fulfill President Trump's agenda. He's received support from the president on Twitter today after an endorsement last week. But because of ties to Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell, other candidates have attacked Strange and the likelihood of passing Trump-backed initiatives that he supports.
We both share the frustration. I've been in Washington in the government just a month less time than he has. So we're both incredibly frustrated by the lack of performance by the Senate. What we'll just have to do is get back to work.
And we don't expect to see Senator Strange here until after the polls close, sometime after 7 o'clock. But as soon as he arrives here at the Alofs in Homewood, we'll let you know. Reporting live tonight, Michael Clark, CBS 42 News, local coverage you can count on.
Republican Congressman Mo Brooks is also fighting for that Senate seat.
Brooks has fired back at a string of negative ads that showed him publicly criticizing Donald Trump. CBS 42 News reporter Stefan Dengel live in Huntsville covering the Brooks campaign for us tonight, where he and his supporters have gathered there. Stefan, what's the scene like there right now?
Well, Jim, we just got inside about 30 minutes ago. Not a lot of people here right now. A lot of people running around trying to set this thing up. But people will be following in here around 7 o'clock. Right now, Congressman Mo Brooks is putting on his fresh suit to get here to his campaign headquarters. He's going to be here a little after the top of the hour now. If you take a look at the video that we may have here of him voting earlier, I caught up with him as he was helping bringing some of the stuff into his campaign headquarters. where he told us a pretty funny story when he got to the polls this morning. They said he was an active voter, but they got that cleared up pretty good. But some error with an address or something like that, so he was able to cast his vote. He is facing a pretty stiff challenge, though, from his opponents, who have big-time endorsements from the president himself and the Senate Majority Leader Mitch McConnell. However, Congressman Mo Brooks does have an endorsement from big-time GOPer Sean Hannity. So we're going to see how this thing plays out. A lot of polls are saying that it's going to be a runoff between two candidates, Roy Moore and either Luther Strange or Congressman Mo Brooks. So obviously, as these results start coming in, we'll be sure to keep you up to date here on air and online, and of course on our mobile app. We're live in Huntsville. Stefan Diggle, CBS 42 News. Local coverage you can count on.
All right, Stefan, thank you. Meanwhile, on the Democratic side of the ticket, two front runners are going head-to-head in that Senate race.
Candidate Doug Jones is a former U.S. attorney, well known for his prosecution of Birmingham's 16th Street Baptist Church bombers. CBS 42 News reporter Jamie Ostroff's live in Birmingham, where Jones will be awaiting the election results. Jamie?
Sherry, it's a fairly intimate gathering in here at 5 Restaurant in Birmingham's Lakeview district, and it actually kind of serves as a bit of a contrast to that very highly publicized, relatively vitriolic race that we are seeing in the Republican primary. Now, Doug Jones hopes that he can serve as a candidate that's an alternative to folks on both sides of the political spectrum to all that's going on with the Republican race. Now, this Democrat from Birmingham once served as the staff counsel for the Senate Judiciary Committee. He also, as you mentioned, Jim and Sherry, was the U.S. Attorney for the Northern District of Alabama. Jones, ideologically, is very much on par compared to the other Democrats in this primary. However, he says, compared to these other Democrats, his experience is unparalleled. That is what he says is going to take him all the way.
My history and my experience has been reaching across party lines, reaching across economic lines, reaching across racial lines. There's very few, I think, people that can do that. Certainly there's no one on the other side that can do that. And I believe I've got that experience, and the people have seen this. We have seen so many people across the state that have followed my career who are going to vote for me when they haven't voted for this political party in a long time.
Jones did step away from this party for a little bit, but he is expected to be back here around 7 o'clock, 7:15. We will be here all evening long as results and reactions happen in real time. Live in Birmingham, Jamie Ostroff, CBS 42 News. Local coverage you can count on.
The other Democratic frontrunner is Robert Kennedy Jr., the businessman and Naval Academy graduate, is from Mobile.
CBS 42 News reporter James McConaughey is down in Mobile for us tonight, where that Senate hopeful will be watching the returns.
I'm here at the Admiral Hotel in Mobile. This is where the campaign for Robert Kennedy will be watching as the results come in tonight. Now, Kennedy entered this race as a mystery candidate, but he has picked up considerable support, at times pulling ahead of former U.S. Attorney Doug Jones in the polls. Kennedy says that's because he's a different kind of candidate. He describes himself as a fiscally responsible Democrat and has spoken a great deal about the influence of faith and family on his political positions. He said he wants to bring his experience as a military officer and a businessman to Washington. Of course, it's an uphill battle for any Democrat in the deep red state of Alabama, but in the current political climate, it seems that just about anything could happen. So I'll be here tonight to bring you updates as the results come in. In Mobile, James McConaughey, CBS 42 News. Local coverage you can count on.
There are some issues on the ballot happening in Walker County today. They will decide whether to approve a sales tax increase. Shoppers currently pay a 2-cent tax towards education in the county. Voting yes on this one would increase that by a penny. If it passes, it could generate $7 million a year. Some of that money will pay a $1.5 million debt payment. A little over $4 million would go to infrastructure improvements. Here's what voters had to say about that proposed tax increase.
Well, I think it's good that they're concerned about the roads making Walker County better, but at the same time, some people can barely afford to buy groceries, and if it's higher taxes, it's just going to be a burden on the people. So while I see good on both sides, it's going to be a really difficult decision today.
The county could face bankruptcy if that debt isn't paid by February. Okay, we've got 51 minutes until the polls close. Right now, our election coverage in the Alabama Senate race continues.
Political analyst Steve Flowers with us on set, and if this turns out to be Roy Moore's day, as everyone is projecting right now, with those polls closing at 7, who's likely to be in the runoff with him? Who's strong today, do you think?
Well, I think probably it favors Luther Strange. it's hard to spend $4 million and not getting a runoff. I mean, the story's going to be that Moore spent $400,000 and probably beats Strange 2-1, but Strange probably makes the runoff ahead of Brooks. He had a particular ad that hammered Brooks on not being close to Trump. So those voters who are voting for the person who more likely align with Trump, that was clarified by not only the ads but the endorsement 3 times. So I think that probably boosted him 3 points.
You bring up a point, being aligned with Trump. People want something to get done in Washington. So do they want somebody who's going to follow what's happening, or are those people who are disappointed with what's happening in Washington, do they want somebody who isn't a Trump man?
I think probably when all's said and done, Sherry, that probably a lot of the people who are voting for Roy Moore are Donald Trump supporters. So they may be barking, howling at the moon, if you will, trying to get those folks to vote for them. When all's said and done, that same voter may be voting for Roy Moore.
So it may not be the stamp of approval they think
I
it is.
think it helps Strange. To get back to Jim's question, I think Strange, if there is a runoff, makes the runoff. But I do think there's going to be a distance between Moore and the second place finisher that may be hard to overcome in a runoff.
We know it's an uphill battle for the Democrats when we get to the final part of this election. Who best has a chance against the Republicans, in your opinion?
By far, Doug Jones. I think Doug Jones could win outright tonight in the Democratic primary, and he is a good, well-qualified person. So therefore, he would be a formidable, not necessarily a formal candidate because he'd be a Democrat, but he'd be a good candidate.
All right, stay with CBS 42 for continuing coverage on the U.S. Senate race. We'll have primetime election coverage with the results starting at 9 o'clock and on the CBS 42 News at 10.
And throughout the evening, of course, you can get those numbers scrolling on your screen when the polls close at 7 o'clock.
Yeah, you can also join us after the show where Steve Flowers will join us on Facebook Live to discuss the Senate race and answer viewer questions. All right there. Stay with CBS 42 for continuing coverage on the U.S. Senate race. We'll have primetime election coverage with the results starting at 9 o'clock and then again on the CBS 42 News at 10.